Alrighty, it's time to start playing with Staball Match in my 6mm GT. So today we're going to try the 108 Berger Boattail Hollow Point, CCI number 450 primers, Hornady brass, and obviously Staball Match. Now there's no load data for this combination. There's no load data that I could find at all for Staball Match in the 6GT, but being a very close burn rate to Berger, it should work really well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start out at 33.4 grains and work our way up to 35.3. We're going to go ahead and do one shot at each charge weight for the first 5, just to go ahead and make sure we're in a safe pressure zone. And if that works out well, we're going to go ahead and try 35.3 grains at 200 yards. Now these hit the lands in my rifle at about 2.558 cartridge overall length. So we're going to load them at 2.530. Now, I've never shot any of the 108 Bergers, but they're one of the only Berger bullets in 6mm right now that you can really kind of get a hold of, so I bought a few boxes of them. So let's get out on the range and let's check it out. Alright, target is at 100 yards. This is my 24-inch Seekins Havoc hit, chambered in 6GT, 1-8 twist, loophole, 7-35 Mark V optic. And we're just kind of getting an idea how our charges are going to be. And gun is cold, but the gun hasn't been cleaned. It's got about 15 shots on it since it's been cleaned. Alright, so first shot here, and I'm going to go ahead and just single feed them so then I don't screw this up and go in the wrong order. We're obviously starting low to high. Target's at 100 yards. The dots on the target right now are a 1/2 inch. Alright, first shot. See how they do. I'm hoping this will be about 2,800. Maybe just below that. It is a cold bore shot. Alright, that one was 27.72. That one was 28.10. That one was 28.50. Okay, so there was definitely something weird happening on those first two. Almost like they were hang firing. Something like that. Because that one there felt like a normal shot. 28.88. And then our last one here. Huh. Alright, that one was 28.84. So we chose some pretty good charges there, but I don't know if it's just me or what, but... Alright, let's get back to the bench. Alright, so I'm back out here on the range. We're at 200 yards now. Target dot is 1 inch. We're shooting 35.3 grains. Same overall length. Just going to test a 5-shot group at 200 yards. I have dialed up the scope about 1/2 mil because we were a little low and we're going to get a little drop at 200 yards. So gun has cooled down because obviously I went and loaded these rounds, but we're going to go ahead and shoot them. It is a pretty decent day still. There's a little bit of wind off our left, but really not a bad day to shoot. It is a little cold. It's probably in the 30s still. Still getting velocity through our lab radar. All right, let's see how they do at 200 yards. All right, weird velocity off that last one there. Let's see how things looked. Things were looking pretty consistent there until the end. Yeah, not bad, I guess. We averaged 2919 feet per second with a 14.18 SD. First shot was 2901, then 2915, 2916, 2923, and then that last shot at 2940 kind of screwed things up. But reasonably consistent, and our group doesn't look bad, so let's get over there, let's check it out. All right, so taking a look at our brass here, the ones in this line here are the ones that were fired at our max charge. So as you can tell, our primers look nice and round. There's really nothing to see here. No ejector smears. I think we're in a safe range for our pressure. I think we can actually push up a bit. All right, so first things first, that target on the left, we've got to talk about some mild ignition issues. So with our first 3 charges, felt like we were getting just the slightest hang fire, and as I went back and edited the video, you can notice it when you listen to it. So there's just a little bit of hang fire, let's call it on the first 3 loads. So 33.4 to 34.2. Now, I think this is probably just because the charge is too low and we don't have enough case fill. Now, we made up this low data, so I don't know that for sure, but it appears as if on our top 2 charges, we didn't have any problems with hang fires. And then obviously we moved up to our 35.3 grain load. We also didn't have any problems with hang fires. So potentially this powder is a little bit hard to ignite, especially when there's a little bit of extra powder in the case. I'm not really sure. These are really the first hang fires I've really experienced, and they were so slight. I felt like it was happening, but then I had to go back and watch the video to confirm. Even with that, our group size was about 0.70, so obviously this bullet wants to group. As we moved over to 200 yards with our 35.3 grain load, we shot 2919 with a 14.2 SD. So 14.2 SD is not great, but obviously our ignition problems, they weren't too severe because at that 35.3 grain load, we were at a 14.2 SD. Now I think what I might do here is go ahead and push on up with this load just to be sure that we're not having any more ignition problems. It seems like they were all with the low charges, but I don't know, kind of a little concerning with Staball Match here. But other than that, things turned out pretty good. I'm hopeful that it was just a problem picking too low of charges, but time will tell to be sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video with 6GT and enjoyed shooting a half MOA group at 200 yards. So we'll see you next week.